Hey everybody, John Layfield here. Hope you are enjoying Five Best Bets. We are winning right now, so it's fun to get to come spike the football. It's tough when you have a bad day, but yesterday we had another good day. 4-1 yesterday, up 2.0545 units, I believe it was. Yep, and up 37.8663 units for the season. So we're up right at 38 units for the season. We're killing it right now. We've had some bad days, but overall, we've had a really good track record. Me and Mr. Gerald Briscoe, Stories of Briscoe and Bradshaw. We love talking baseball. It's our podcast. We enjoy talking baseball. It's come up with the idea for Five Best Bets. And again, we're not selling nothing. We're having a good time talking baseball. That's all we're doing. There's no hook. There's no catch. There's no nothing. Just having some fun. Hopefully it's a good entertainment and maybe provide some valuable information for you. Again, we're not telling you to do anything. We're just telling you what I'm doing. This is games I'm betting. I'm handicapping. I love handicapping baseball. Not very good at it, but this year I've got a pretty good record. So hopefully that continues. Five best bets for today. Detroit and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's got a mash unit for a pitching staff right now. That's been their problem lately. They're still a good, solid team, but they've had problems getting pitching stability. They're putting Tobias Myers on the mound today, it looks like, up against Reese Olson. Reese Olson has had a good year this year. He's 2.48 ERA. He's only been over 2 runs twice this season. I think out of 11 games, I believe it is. Now, he went 5 runs in his last game, gave up, but Myers did too, 5 in his last game. Olson had done this earlier in the year, gave up 6 runs against Pittsburgh, then came back and had shut down several games until this last blow up. But Detroit is 2-9 behind Olson. They're just not supporting him at all. And I think today with the wind, the way it's blowing, I think the fact that Olson doesn't give up the long ball, wind's going to be blowing out about 15 miles an hour, more toward the left field foul pole than to left field, but it's still blowing out. Olson has pitched 61 innings and only given up 33 home runs. Myers has pitched 25 innings and given up 7 home runs. Myers has a 5.4 ERA compared to the 2.48 ERA of Olson. Give me Detroit. Good odds here at -110. For our first game. And then the Baltimore O's. And I hate to do this because this is my good friend, Mr. Gerald Briscoe's team against the Tampa Bay Rays. They're down against the Rays. You got a pretty even team. This is unique. Savali's on the mound for the Rays. Irvin on the mound for Baltimore. Savali is the batting stats against him by Baltimore. They're 20 of 60 with 7 home runs. Irvin, the other team, is 19 of 57. So they both have a 333 batting average against them by the opposing team. I thought about going over with this or over the first 5 innings, but these guys in their last 2 games against the teams, Irvin gave up 2 runs against the Rays. Savali gave 1 run against Baltimore. So they have a pretty good matchup, at least the last time they played against them. So I don't want to go the over. I'm going to go with the O's. And the reason is these 2 pitchers seem to be equal. The bats are not equal. The O's have a better batting, but they have a far better bullpen. So give me the Baltimore O's at -102. Another good odds for you. And then the Reds and Chicago Cubs. The wind is blowing out about 14 miles an hour. Justin Steele on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. In his last game against the against the Reds, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, but only 1 earned run. And the reason they had 1 earned run was because they had 4 base on balls. But they have a 339 batting average against Justin Steele. Talking about the Reds have a 339 batting average against Justin Steele for the Cubs. Lodolo, on the other hand, just pitched also against the team, against the opposing team, the Cubs. There was 6 hits, 6 innings, 7 hits, only 2 earned runs, but 1 base on balls. That was the difference. I don't think Steele walks people like he did that first game. But I think overall the Reds have a better pitching matchup here, and I think the Reds have a better batting matchup here as far as how they've been playing in the last month. So give me the Reds at -120. And then Boston and Chicago White Sox. Boston has been destroying the baseball. 14 runs yesterday. They're hitting the ball incredibly well. You've got a good pitcher on the mound for Chicago White Sox with Crochet. That's the wild card here. So I don't really want to go Boston. Criswell's on the mound for Boston. He doesn't have a great ERA. But in the last 3 games, Boston has averaged 8.67 runs. Chicago White Sox averaged 4.67 runs. Now, you can make trends mean anything. You can figure out when teams are playing on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, and you can come up with cockamamie ideas and all this crazy BS that so many people do. The thing is, they're hitting the ball really well lately. And both these teams have been going over these totals. It's over 7.5 is the bet. between Boston and Chicago White Sox. The wind is blowing out in Chicago, by the way, not a huge amount, about 6 or 7 miles an hour. So I think that'll help us a little bit. I hope so, because that's our bet. And then we got Cleveland and Atlanta in a parlay. Cleveland, to me, has a team that is trying to get over that hump, and they're not getting there. But you got Lance Lynn on the mound, who has been, I'm sorry, Logan Allen on the mound, who has been solid at times, just like Cleveland, and very erratic at times. Ryan Weathers on the mound for Miami, but Miami is the worst in the league against left-handed pitchers. So give me Cleveland in the first part of that parlay. Cleveland also has the best bullpen. And then you got Atlanta versus the Nats. Sale has been tremendous this year. Chris Sale, the pitcher for Atlanta, has been amazing for Atlanta. Of his last 6 games before the last one, which we'll talk about, he had given up 3 runs in 6 games total. He was amazing, like a Cy Young guy. Then in the last game, he gave up 8 runs. Just got blasted out of the ballpark. But he's got a 211 batting average against him by the Nats. He's given up 0 home runs. I think that Atlanta is a better club, even without Acuna, especially with CJ Abrams a little bit banged up. The left shoulder is bothering him. If he's out, there's no doubt that I think it's the right side. I think it's the right side anyway. Give me Cleveland and Atlanta in the parlay at plus 135. So let me run down those 5 best bets for you. You got Detroit minus 110, O's minus 102, Reds minus 120, and Boston and Chicago White Sox over 7.5, and then Cleveland and Atlanta plus 135. And got 4 bonus bets for you. We've done really well on runs in the first inning. We were 2-0 yesterday, actually 3-0, but one game had already started, so we couldn't count that. But we did win that one. So 3-0, 2-0 is, I guess, fish. We don't count bonus bets anyway. O's and Rays. Irving on the mound against Savali, 9-0 and 11-2 is what they are in the first inning as far as runs scored against them. Give me no runs first inning, O's and Rays. Seattle and Kansas City, Miller and Lynch, 10-2 as far as runs in the first inning, and Lynch 2-0. No runs first inning, Seattle, Kansas City. Boston, Chicago White Sox. The problem here is going to be Boston by far, and Crochet is 12-1, who's pitching against them. Criswell is 7-2 against Chicago White Sox, who just tend to not score in the first inning. And then Detroit, Olsen is 11-0 in the first inning, and Tobias Myers is not that good in the first inning. So give me Detroit to win the first inning on the money line. I mean, if it ends up 0-0, 1-1, you tie, it's a minus 120 or 130, I think, right now. Anyway, it's a bonus bet, so we're not going to count it toward the total. So it's minus 120 to minus 130. So there you have it. No runs first inning, O's, Seattle, Kansas City, Boston, Chicago White Sox, and Detroit first inning money line. And you heard the rundown. Cleveland and Atlanta in a parlay, Detroit, Baltimore Orioles, Reds, and Boston, Chicago White Sox over 7.5. So there you have it. Hope you enjoy the baseball today. Good luck. And if you take the bets, if you win, give me credit. If you don't tell anybody where you got them. Have a great day.